The first speaker is Austin Wilson. Austin grew up in Fairfax, California, and at UC Santa Cruz he studied politics and had a combined major also in mathematics and economics. He was the co-founder of the Brain, Mind, and Consciousness Society, and he was the student leader of a student philanthropy group called Slug to Slug. This year, he was elected to Phi Beta Kappa. This summer, Austin will start an internship with an organization in Oakland called As You Sow. It's a nonprofit organization that promotes environmental and social responsibility among corporations and does so through shareholder advocacy, coalition building, and innovative legal strategies, some of which I'm sure are going to make it into the news. It is my pleasure to introduce Austin Wilson.
Thank you, Provost Crosby. As the only currently amplified member of the class of 2013, I would like to invite you to join me in acknowledging the Ana-Mutsun tribe, who are the descendants of the Mutsun and Awaswa-speaking tribes of San Juan Bautista and Santa Cruz. I would like to thank our gathered families, friends, mentors, colleagues, and ghostwriters. I would also like to thank Google and Wikipedia for getting us through the past few years. Most of the graduates seated before you are children of the 90s, a decade revered because it wasn't the 80s, or God forbid, the 70s. Growing up, television was our babysitter. The internet became our playmate. The wall came down, and the web came up. The morning in America was over, and we were hungry for lunch. To many of us, the 60s are an abstraction, a cultural bedtime story about social revolutions that rocked the world. We are young, but so is this university. I've heard that over half of our Banana Slug alumni have graduated since the year 2000. The paths that we follow through the Redwoods have grown a little wider. The Redwoods remember the 60s, when a group of UC regents traveled over the Santa Cruz Mountains from a new Perspective campus in San Jose. They came over the mountains, leaving the heat of the valley for a cool ocean breeze and breathtaking coastal forests. That day, they chose beauty over convenience, and this university was born. Nice. UCSC was then, and is today, a showcase for progressive, cross-disciplinary undergraduate education. Our college system is a rarity among public institutions of higher learning, and we are an intellectual powerhouse. UC Santa Cruz ranks number 2 in the world in research influence. We were the first to sequence the human genome, and we made it freely available online. Each year, our graduates move on to fellowships, graduate schools, and even real jobs around the world. In the tradition of commencement speeches everywhere, let's pause for a moment in self-congratulation. We are all part of this world-class institution. Speaking of connection, I hope this class stays connected, but I'm not very worried. If robes had pockets, I'd probably already be quoted on Facebook and Twitter. By the way, Provost Crosby, I'm beating you at Words with Friends. The connections will persist and flourish because college is about people as much as it is about skills or ideas. It's about people, not buildings. It's about people, and sometimes the beautiful meadows and redwoods. Studying here was a transformative experience that we will share forever. From our alumni, we graduates have learned the importance of giving back. From our faculty, we have learned how to learn. From each other, we have learned pretty much everything else. Student organizations and resource centers have taught us about the vibrancy of diverse cultures. They have given us tools to be healthy and resilient. They have given us tools to create a more sustainable society. They have taught us a new understanding of human behavior and even consciousness itself, whatever that means. We will need all the knowledge and all the skills we can get. The power of technology is increasing, and the pace of human activity accelerating. We are speeding into an age of excitement and also great uncertainty. Global issues like social equity, economic opportunity, public health, and sustainability feel more pressing than ever. For me personally, as my slime trail crosses the planet, I hope to remember the most important lessons that I learned here. First, there is no one right way to live a life. And second, we can focus on the good of the entire planet, even as we are concentrated on our own little trail across it. Fiat slug, thank you.